r/confessions. Sit back, relax and enjoy this video. I used to put stuff in my mum's ex-boyfriend's drinks and food. When I was 10ish, my mum started dating this complete PP. Let's call him Gary, because that is the wanker's name. Gary adored my younger sister and my mum. He would take them out for dinners, and buy my sister new toys and stuff. I was fine with that. I honestly loved being alone, more time with my books. I don't know if he noticed and decided to escalate, or if he didn't even notice, but he began cornering me when I was alone, calling me fat, ugly, stupid. I was wearing clothes for 12-year-olds, but I had hit puberty like a brick wall, as mum put it. Literally ass and tits nearly overnight. I hated it. I don't think I'm ugly, and looking at pictures now I think I was a pretty cute kid. Also, I was top in all of my classes. So frick you Gary, fricking Wangston. But like I said, I was 10, and at that age you're just beginning to build your own self-esteem and all that, and I was also being bullied at school. Nerd, poor, creepy. You get the picture. So I was seriously beginning to absolutely hate myself. So Gary was bullying, verbally abusing me at home. Kids were jerks at school. I had nowhere safe. Now, at this point I know I should have told my mum, but she had been going through a rough patch on her own, and even if he was a complete frick to me, my mum was smiling again. So I just took it. Well, I didn't tell her anyway. Instead I would put stuff in his coffee as I made it. I would put salt and vinegar in. I'd spit. Particularly when I had tonsillitis, I'd sprinkle washing powder in. Basically, if I could get it to dissolve, in it went. Also, at 10, my mum had started letting me cook dinner on my own. Nothing fancy, pasta, frozen food. It made me feel grown up. And I'd put stuff in there too. Once I dished it up, I'd spit, sneeze, I even mixed 1 stroke to a teaspoon of bleach in once. Basically, once in a while he'd get ill, and I felt better knowing that he was eating, drinking my spit, whatever. Anyway, just after my 11th, he and my mum broke up and he seemed to vanish. I didn't want to upset my mum, but I found out that he was doing drugs in our house in secret, and that was a no-no. So I told my mum about him calling me names and all that. She cried and said she was sorry and made me swear that if anyone ever does that again I had to tell her. She'd rather I be safe than have me insulted at home. And when he tried to get back with her about a month later, she told him to frick off and threatened him. Last time I saw him, he looked the stereotypical crackhead. So I win. Also, frick you Gary. Edit. Thank you to everyone. I feel validated and I'm glad I posted this. I crap in the shower and missed my first exam in grade 9 because it took me 45 minutes to unclog it. Yeah. Whenever my crush whispers to me in class to make a side comment or some joke, I pretend I didn't hear her so she can lean in much closer in my ear to whisper again because I think it's sexy as hell. She's been doing this the entire past week since we started the semester, and I think I have a problem. It's happened like 6 times at this point out of our 3 class sessions, and I don't think she knows that's why I can never hear her that well. Having said that, I am ashamed that I do this whenever she does it. I figured she would eventually stop whispering stuff to me out of being annoyed with my hearing, but we share a very similar sense of humor, so as a cherry on top, a lot of her jokes are actually really funny, so it's a win-win for me. Like today, our structural analysis engineering professor was showing us a picture of this horribly designed column for a building that was hanging on by a thread. He was trying to make a point of how bad things can get when you don't double check your work, and said to always see potential problems in projects. So he showed the picture, then said, "Okay, what do you guys see?" Everybody in unison said potential problems. But she said, whispering into my ear, potential lawsuit. To which I did the facial body gesture equivalent of what? Sorry, one more time. Lean my ear much closer to her face. She gets closer, then says potential lawsuit, and does that maximum dimple smile giggle she always does. I chuckle because it was genuinely funny, and I am just excited she did it again, so I bite my lips while looking away like that one Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's biting his fist, and The text says crap like when your crush starts talking about showering. I would ask her out but she got a boyfriend last semester, so I've just been keeping these feelings pushed aside while staying friends like normal. He goes to a different university and she rarely brings him up, so it feels awkward to check in on how they are doing, plus I met him once, he seemed like a cool dude, so I don't wanna break that up. Edit to those who ask me to clarify if she's still even with him. The other day she was talking with a friend. Her phone dinged. Friend said, "Who's that?" She replied, "My babe, sorry everyone, but she's definitely still taken." I got my first paycheck today in 6 years from a full-time job and finally didn't see a minus next to my bank balance. I served in the Middle East in the military and unfortunately was injured, in addition to developing complex PTSD from several operations I was part of. I suppressed everything for 4 years afterward, until it broke out completely and my life was in complete shambles. I have been perpetually thousands in debt for over 2 years now. It has been one of the most psychologically torturous and traumatizing periods in my life, having to fight just to pay bills and keep my head above water, all the while my symptoms getting steadily worse. I barely slept and barely functioned. I nearly dropped out of school in my last semester. But I decided to get myself in treatment and start tackling the demons that had dragged me down time and again. It sucked. I broke down in the doctor's office and I broke down in the street before and after most sessions. I was approved for a medical cannabis license. Here it is extremely difficult to obtain. And it turned my life around. I was able to start taking part-time jobs and start getting out of my house and functioning. I eventually got to a part-time job that I really enjoyed and worked my ass off to keep, because my symptoms flaring up for a period of time had cost me several others. In July, I got an offer from the company to be a full-time employee, and I got my first paycheck into my account today. I used my credit card for the first time in months, and even though I knew I wasn't in debt after so long, I was terrified it would be declined. But it wasn't. I got to buy myself an early birthday present. This is one of the best days of my life in years and I really don't have many people to share it with. So for whoever read my story, I appreciate it. Have a blessed weekend. I condensed a great deal of the story and I'm sure there are holes, so I'm happy to answer questions if anyone has. Edit. I got a few hours sleep last night and got to see these messages when I woke up and I can't thank you all enough. This put such a big crap eating grin on my face to see your words and support. It means the world. I'm a disgusting pig. So it's Saturday night. I had a great day. Drank great coffee, got work done, feeling good. I knew this weekend was the last weekend I was gonna smoke until I go to Colorado at the end of next month, so I rolled up a DB. I'm baked to crap and lo and behold, who comes knocking on my door? That's right. You guessed it, Mr. Munchies. So I'm throwing all sorts of crap together. Rice, steak, leftover pottle from Friday, refried beans, 3 different hot sauces. I feast. I'm feeling good. I'm chillin' and relaxing and lo and behold, I get another knock on the door. You wouldn't believe it, but Mr. Munchies is back. So some backstory. All day I was craving a quarter pounder. I'm going on all sorts of delivery apps and my girlfriend finds that a place that rhymes with schmerger schming is free delivery. In my state of hunger I order the burger that rhymes with schmopper and their version of a quarter pound burger with cheese. She gets chicken fries and the 20 mozzarella stick deal. It arrives. Everyone is happy. I eat my schmopper and about 6 mozzarella sticks with like 4 chicken fries and I'm tapping out. She barely ate anything but the mozzarella sticks, so I throw it out. By now it's like 9:30 and my girlfriend is passing out. So she knocks out and I'm chillin' feeling like a giant puddle of oil and grease. I think to myself, hey, it's my last weekend smoking for a bit, why not roll up another doobster? So I do. I smoke it and I pass out watching Pulp Fiction. I wake up and it's like 12:30 when I get yet another knock on the door. It's fricking Mr. Munchies. I have nothing in the house at this point. I'm desperate and about to call it quits when suddenly I remember. I threw away almost a whole burger, about 6 chicken fries, and like 5 mozzarella sticks. My fat piece of scummy ass goes in the trash and fricking eats it all. That's when I realized I am literally a grease burger personified. Like if you ask someone what the lowest quality burger looked like in human form, it would be a picture of me on Saturday night, naked, eating 4-hour-old schmerger schming from the fricking trash can. Thank you for reading. Oh, you survived. Now sub. Please.